We're out here today going to do a test of my reloads against a couple PPU factory loads for the 6.5 Carcano. Okay, first up, you go to my video on my reloads. I used a Hornet A 160 grain bullet. I don't know if Hornet A still commercially loads this ammunition. When they did, it was quite expensive. It's like well over $30 a box. And 250, it's 267 in diameter on a 160 grain bullet. Now that's my reload. Now when I went to a gun show, I was looking for some commercially produced Carcano, and this is an older box of PPU. This is the old box. It was $16 for it, and it's a 139 grain bullet. Now this is what I just loaded, this same bullet on the Japanese round, and that's a full metal jacket bullet, 139 grains. And this one, we're going to get our micrometers. I'm sorry I got to do all this out here. Okay, 50, 60. Yeah, it's like 63. Okay, why they don't make it 264? It's 263 thousandths in diameter. PPU makes them like a thousandths undersized. So that's the full metal jacket. Now recently, in the past few years, and like I said, the price on that was $16 a box. They changed their box and they have this new packaging commercial line, and this is a Spire Point 123 grain bullet. Okay, soft point. So this is like a hunting cartridge, 123 grains. So not, yeah, almost 15 grains. And this one here also is 263 thousandths in diameter compared to the 267. So we got the three basic types of ammo. Now we'll look at the guns that I chose to test this out at. Okay, the two Carcanos I brought to do this testing, I bought an M38. This is a post-war rework, but it has like a mint bore, and this gun shot very well in my testing. And this does have that strange gain twist rifling. They still used it, and it is proportionate to a carbine barrel length. The only one is the M91-24, which was a cut-down rifle where the gain twist will not be proportionate. And I have an M41 Carcano. Now the reason I brought this rifle to test is this just has plain straight rifling. When they made this model starting at 41, they got rid of the gain twist, and the sights are regulated for 100 meters in that. So we're not going to have to fool around or guess. So yeah, it's still the same, but they're not set like the old M91 rifle at 300 meters. So we're going to test them, A, for the difference in the rifling and a little bit different guns. So if you got an older gun, which would be represented by this, and then the newer one. So that's what we're going to give it a try. Now what we're shooting at is off a bag rest at 50 yards. That's 50-yard range. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one down just to see where my sights are, and then I'm going to fire 5 rounds at the same point of aim. In other words, once I establish a point of aim, it's going to be the same for the dots with the sights, and then we see how the ammo performs. Okay, first up is going to be my reloaded ammo with the standard bullet, or the one that's closest to matching up with the standard military round. I'm going to fire the 5 shots. I got an idea where this is shooting. With the catch pull, it's pretty much on now. It's a little high because higher velocity in that. And the whole idea is for grouping. Not so much hitting the target, but what the group is, how accurate the ammo is. And then you can worry about getting it on target later. So that's what we're going to try to test out here today. Okay, that's my reloads. Okay, next up, 139 grain full metal jacketed bullet. Okay, that was that one. Next up, the 123 grain soft point bullet. Well, all the ammo cycles through the gun fairly well. You know, these clips, you reuse them. The last one likes to hang a little because it cocks it up. Well, let's go down and see what we did. Okay, first target with my reloads. Not too bad. Okay, that's your 5-shot group, 2 touching, and it's also the tightest group because, you know, with the bullet. There was my sighter, so once I got it gauged, you know, I kept over. So this is the first time I've used PPU ammo with, this is a 139 grain bullet. Again, now mind you, this is with a mint bore. Okay, there's no wear. This gun was like brand new. Short little carbine, twist barrel. Not too shabby. Okay, 139 grain. Still can hold it in there. Okay, which isn't bad. It's really, I thought it'd be worse, but it's not terrible. I can take these home and measure them because it's on the paper. I got all 5 shots on the target. So that's 139 grain out of the carbine. Now the 123, also not a horrible group for an old military gun shooting a bullet. They really shouldn't have functioned well, but it did at 50 yards. It's all shooting high and about the same point of aim, so that's a good part of it. And the grouping's not too terrible. I'd say about 6 inches or so, but since these targets are like this, I can save these and take them back and examine them. All 5 were on that paper, so that's good. Now we're going to move on to the full-size rifle with a different style rifling and a longer barrel. See if we can tighten it up. Alright, next up is our M1941 long rifle. Now this has standard rifling in it, and the sights are pretty well set. I did my spotter at 50 yards. It'd be pretty easy for us to keep it all down on the paper. So we'll see how the ammo runs through this gun. Also, the rifle's a little bit easier to shoot, more comfortable to shoot. So first up, my reload. Okay, move on to the next one. Alright, next up is PPU 139 grain full metal jackal. My arm's acting up, so this may not be the best day for testing. Okay, that's it for that one. Okay, last one. 123 grain soft point. That's it for our baseline testing. Let's go down and see what we got. Okay, well my reload's fairly consistent. That blue patch is the sight in, but not too terrible consistency wise. Now when I went with the 139 grain, we started to drop down low. Still not terrible of a grouping. My arm started to bother me, so it might have been able to keep it tighter with the shooting, but I started getting a real bad tremor, so it was kind of hard to concentrate and hold it. So probably, even though the point of impact's a little lower, not too terrible of a grouping. Then the 123 grain was all over the place. Don't know if that was me just getting worse, or if something about the ammunition. We got 2 off the paper, 2 pretty close and on, and 1 in the bullseye. So don't know, but still not terrible for off-the-shelf stuff. So that's going to end our testing here at 50 yards. I may take it out to 100 and see what it does, try to get a little bit more stable.